So in this video, itutuloy natin ang ating pagdidiscuss sa laws of exponents. Nung nakaraan, meron na tayong video wherein discuss natin yung mga laws of exponents. So ngayon, itong isang law of exponent natin wherein a raised to m divided by a raised to n is ginagamitan lang natin ng a raised to m minus n. Mina-minus natin yung exponent. So, bigay tayo ng isang example. Let's say, we have x to the 5th power over x to the 4th power. So basically, using the law of exponent, ang gagawin natin is x, and then isusubtract natin yung exponent. So we have x raised to 1. And how do we simplify that x raised to 1? Basically, pag x raised to 1, hindi na natin inilalagay yung exponent na 1. So, kung i-expand kasi natin siya, we have yung x sa taas is minultiply to itself 5 times. And then yung x sa baba is minultiply to itself 4 times. And then when we simplify, yun na lang isang x sa taas or sa numerator ang natira. Again, basically, if a term is raised to the first power, that is equal to the term itself. Second scenario, what if si m at si n is parehas ng value? So let's say, for example, we have x to the 3rd power over x to the 3rd power. When we apply the law of exponent, we have x raised to 3 minus 3. And that is x raised to 0. So, kapag x raised to 0, paano natin siya isi-simplify? So, if you're going to expand, i-multiply natin yung x 3 times to itself. Ganun din sa baba. And when we cancel out, when we simplify, we all know na if we have the same value for the numerator and the denominator, that is equal to 1. So, we can conclude that x raised to 0 is equal to 1. And actually, any term, kahit gaano pa kalaki yung constant number raised to 0, that is always equal to 1. Next, what if yung exponent na nasa baba is greater than sa exponent na nasa itaas? Example, we have x to the 3rd power divided by x to the 5th power. So, applying the law of exponent, we have x raised to 3 minus 5. And 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So, paano natin isi-simplify yan kung meron siyang negative na exponent? So, expand natin. Multiplying x times x times x over x times x times x times x times x. And then we are going to cancel out 3 pairs. Sa taas, wala nang natira except for 1. And then sa baba, we have x times x, which is x squared. So from this scenario, we can say that x raised to negative 2 is 1 over x squared. We just get its reciprocal para ma-eliminate natin yung negative sign doon sa exponent. And then also, kung meron naman tayong negative exponent doon sa side ng denominator, we are just going to do the same. We are just going to get the reciprocal. So this will become y to the 3rd power. Okay? So let us try to answer some examples. 2 raised to 0, any term raised to 0 is always equal to 1. This one, we have a negative exponent, which is negative 1. So we are just going to get the reciprocal, which is 1 over 5. And basically, hindi na natin kailangang isulat yung exponent na 1. The same thing here, we are just going to get the reciprocal. So this will become 3 halves. Next, this will become 2/5. This one will now become 1/4 raised to negative 1. Pag sinimplify natin siya, that is equal to 4. Next, we have 2 raised to negative 2. So getting its reciprocal, we have 1 over 2 raised to the second power, and that is equal to 1 over 4. Next, dito, pwede nating isolve siya as copying the same base, which is 6, and then we are just going to add the exponents, negative 3 plus 5, yung unang law of exponent na pinag-aralan natin before. If we are multiplying terms having the same base, i-add lang natin yung exponent. So in this case, ang mangyayari is 6 squared, or the final answer is 36. Pero pwede rin natin siyang isolve as getting the reciprocal of this one. So this will become 1 over 6 to the third power times si 6 to the fifth power is positive naman yung exponent, so hindi magbabago. So that is 6 to the fifth power over 6 to the third power, which will now be subtraction of the exponent. So that is 5 minus 3. So that is 6 squared. The same lang na nakuha natin. That is also 36. So, ganun din yung gagawin natin dito. We can have 6 raised to negative 2 plus 3. And that is 6 to the first power. Or we can also have 1 over 6 squared times 6 to the third power. And that is 6 to the third power over 6 squared, which is 6 raised to 3 minus 2, and that is 6 to the first power. So that's it. Thank you.